Rich in Wisconsin, pronouns are he, him, who is a theist who thinks that I don't understand the Bible and I've been playing a fixed game for 20 years. So welcome, Rich. What's wrong with me?
Well, glad to be on your show. You don't understand the Bible because no one has been able to really illustrate the Bible. The Bible was written for today, and you can only prove the Bible out within the last 5 to 10 years with our recent technology.
Well, that's convenient. Then you should have some good evidence for us.
Yeah. Does that mean that everybody who's believed based on the Bible for the last couple thousand years basically did not have good evidential warrant for that?
That's correct.
Cool. So what technology do we have that allows you to demonstrate the truth of the Bible now that we couldn't have done 200 years ago?
Well, the Big Bang and how the Earth was created could not have been proved. Basically, in the last 100 years, and we're finding so much more about information and everything else that goes with it that allows us today to be able to understand the Bible.
Okay. But the Bible doesn't in any way tell us a model that is proven out by Big Bang cosmology.
But it does.
No, it doesn't. Where does it do that?
If you understand the Bible,
well, hang on. I asked, where does it talk about Big Bang cosmology?
In Genesis 1.
Okay. I've got Genesis 1 open right here. Do you have a preferred Bible version? I've got about 30 in front of me.
Actually, the King James Version is the one that I read.
Sure. So I'll put on the King James Version right here. Which verse in Genesis 1 talks about Big Bang cosmology?
The whole thing does.
No. The whole thing doesn't. The whole thing talks about a great many things. Grass and herbs and plants and animals and lights and stars. None of those things are descriptions of Big Bang cosmology. So which verse addresses Big Bang cosmology?
Every verse.
No, sir. I'm sorry. But you evidently, while you may understand the Bible, you clearly don't understand Big Bang cosmology. Because Big Bang cosmology, sure you do. Wow. Okay, I stand corrected. How does the entirety of Genesis 1 confirm or predict the discovery of Big Bang cosmology?
Let's go through it.
I'm happy to. That's why I was asking what verse, because I'm pretty sure that verse 13, where it says in the morning were the third day, has nothing to do with Big Bang fucking cosmology. So clearly the whole chapter doesn't. I'm asking, where is Big Bang cosmology in Genesis 1? Enlighten us.
Okay. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth.
Okay. That says nothing at all about how or Big Bang cosmology at all.
He created frequency. Heaven and earth.
It doesn't say anything at all. No, sir. It doesn't say anything. It doesn't say God created frequency, nor does that in any way demonstrate Big Bang cosmology.
Heaven and earth are just frequency. That's all they are.
Yeah,
frequency.
Rich, no, sir. No, sir. Heaven is not frequency. Heaven hasn't been demonstrated to exist, so you don't get to say what heaven is. Earth is matter in space-time that also does not tell you about Big Bang cosmology. So when you say that you not only understand the Bible, but you also understand Big Bang cosmology, I'm starting to suspect that you don't understand either of them. I'm asking, where does Genesis 1 tell us about Big Bang cosmology? And you're saying God created everything. That's not Big Bang cosmology. God created frequencies. That's not Big Bang cosmology, nor is it true.
He created the heaven and the earth, and the heaven and the earth are just frequency. That's
What?
all they are.
Rich, I know the Bible says God created the heaven and the earth. I have no evidence that God did anything. I have no evidence that there is a heaven.
Okay. All right. Basically, you're going to. The Bible tells me that I can't prove. And again, I can't prove. I can only prove to you through reason, because no one can prove.
Well,
that
I'd like
God
to get to
exists
that.
or cannot exist.
No one can prove what?
Correct?
No one can prove what?
That God exists would live in.
I don't. No. Stop, Rich. Stop. Just listen to me for just a couple seconds, please. You're calling in to say that the Bible has been proven by modern science. And now you're saying nobody can prove the Bible, and you're saying nobody can prove God or disprove God. So if the statement is this statement correct in your perception? No one can prove God. Is that statement correct?
No one can prove God. No one.
I'm asking you, this is a yes or no question for confirmation. Is this statement correct as far as you know? No one can prove God.
No one can. It tells me in.
Why can't you just say yes or no? I've literally fucking hand walked you. Shut up. I literally hand walked you and shut up. I literally hand walked you to say this is a yes or no question. In your perception, is this statement true? Yes or no? No one can prove God.
No one can prove God.
Jesus fucking Christ, Rich. Yes or no, is this statement true? No one can prove God.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, I have another one. Is this statement true? Yes or no? No one can reasonably demonstrate the existence of God.
Yes.
Thank you. If no one can reasonably demonstrate the existence of God, then that means you can't reasonably demonstrate the existence of God.
Only through reason.
No, sir. No, sir. You've already acknowledged no one can reasonably demonstrate the existence of God. That includes you. You don't get to say only through reason when you've already acknowledged nobody can reasonably do it.
No, they can't. This is correct.
So, talking to you about the existence of God would be a waste of time, correct?
No, not.
Why
correct.
not? You can't demonstrate that a God exists, can you?
But I can show you where you don't understand the Bible.
No, sir.
What
You
does that
can't.
matter?
I asked you
Yes, I
if you could reasonably demonstrate that a God exists, and your answer was no. If you can't reasonably, fine, just listen. If you can't reasonably demonstrate that a God exists, then it doesn't matter whether or not I understand the Bible the way you do, because you don't have any way to demonstrate that you understand the Bible the way God wants you to understand it, do you?
Well, I do.
No, Rich, if you can't demonstrate that God exists, then you can't demonstrate that your understanding of the Bible is consistent with God's, can you?
Do you know who wrote the Bible?
Rich, why won't you answer that question?
Because I'm trying to explain to you how I can show you that you don't understand the Bible.
Rich, if you do not have the ability to show, okay, let's make this easy. You can't reasonably demonstrate God. Can you reasonably demonstrate what God thinks?
No, I can't.
Cool. So, if we're going to talk about the Bible, is the correct understanding the one that aligns with me, the one that aligns with you, the one that aligns with Jim Bob down the street, or the one that aligns with God?
The one that you learned when you were becoming a pastor.
Rich, I'm asking you a question, and I gave you specific options. Is the correct understanding of the Bible the one that matches me, the one that matches you, the one that matches Jim Bob, or the one that matches God?
That can't be proved either.
Rich,
Wow.
if God exists, does God have the correct understanding of the Bible?
Yes, he wrote it.
Okay, no, he didn't write it, but if God exists, he would have the correct understanding of the Bible, right?
Correct.
So if you're going to tell me that I'm wrong about the Bible, you have to be able to show me how my view is different from what God's understanding is, correct?
Correct.
And you can't do that by your own admission. So you have no foundation under which to say I'm wrong and you are right.
Well, you can by reason.
No, sir.
No.
You don't even understand what reason is. I just hand-walked you with reason to show that your position is completely untenable and self-contradictory.
Yes.
That's what reason shows.
No,
If you, yes,
the
listen,
reason-
if you, no, listen, if you acknowledge that you cannot demonstrate what God thinks about the Bible and that God has the correct understanding of the Bible, then you cannot show whether your understanding or my understanding is closest to what God thinks.
This is what I said when I originally called in, that you're playing this fixed game.
I'm not playing a game, sir. I'm
Rich,
using logic and
playing a
reason
fixed
to address the most important subject that could possibly exist, and I'm an expert at it. I just
Well, you're
showed
not
you.
the expert you think you are.
I am an expert at this. I am an expert in exposing logically flawed thinking in people. Because if you say you can't know and you can't show what God thinks, and God is the one that is right about this question, then you can't say whether you're more right or I'm more right or somebody else is more right. It's just impossible. For you to claim to
How
do
can I
this, you are
say-
claiming that you have found a way to do the impossible.
I can't say anything to you because you don't believe in God. So how am I going to prove anything to you about God?
Okay, let me address that. Rich. You're saying you can't address me because I don't believe in God. So are you saying that the only people that you can address are people who already believe in a God?
No,
Then what?
no.
See, okay, goodbye, Rich.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you're so horribly confused. I can't take any more. When you literally contradict yourself in sentence after sentence after sentence, you're like, I can't talk to you because you don't believe in God. Are you saying you can't talk to people who don't believe in God? Nope. Then why did you bring that up? I give up. I give up, Rich. You are one of the most, congratulations. You're the most confused person of the day, and that's saying something.
Yeah, saying completely opposite things within a 10-second time frame is impressive. I mean, I would think he's hitting bigger bong rips than David was if if I hadn't heard David as well.
Hello, I'm Jimmy Snow, Pokemon Master and Executive Producer on The Line. Would you like to support a specific show on The Line or The Line in general? There are special tiers on our Patreon and in our channel memberships. You can do just that. By the way, you could consider leaving a super thanks down below. You could also like, subscribe, and leave a regular comment. All of these are great. Now, I'm going to get back to crushing loneliness, but while I do that, why don't you check out one of these?